Good afternoon and welcome to another week in our garden. Now we're going to start this week by picking the rest of the red peppers that you can see here. We've picked the tomatoes that we'll show you later, and now the peppers want taken. So we'll get these picked and show you what we've got. It's only a case of, like we did before, just go around with the secateurs this time. It's a lot easier with the secateurs. And as you can see, they're all ready, and we've got that many. Diane will probably freeze a lot of these down ready for winter use. So there's that one plant done, and there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on that. So we'll get them picked and show you what we've got. Now we're at the tomato bed, and we're just going to more or less have the final pick of the tomatoes today. As you can see, there's quite a few, and there is some still turning. I'll probably take those off and put them in the greenhouse to finish them. Now the plum tomatoes are about the same. We'll do a final pick and then I'll clear the bed. These are the tomatoes we've picked today. As you can see, it's quite a few. Some are a little underripe, but they'll soon ripen in the house. I think as regards the plum tomatoes, this will be our final harvest. The others are going down rather fast now, and I don't think we'll be able to harvest them. There you are. That's a very large basket of peppers. We will use them one way or another. There's some cracking peppers in there, all colours. And that is about, except for these chili peppers that are more or less just ripening, that's all the peppers now harvested. Now I'm not going to overwinter these pepper plants. I just haven't got the heat required to keep them through. You've got to be looking at least 15 degrees to get these through, and if you get a bit of frost and you haven't kept your heat up, they'll be destroyed in one frost. So they're just not worth it. We'll grow some more up next year. Now I've had a bit of a catastrophe with the potatoes. Over the last few days they've got blight. So what I've done, I've taken as much off as I can that is blighted. We've brought them into the greenhouse as well to dry them out a little bit. It's very dry in here. So hopefully we can get over this blight. If it carries on and we lose them, then we lose them. But we'll try and hold them in the greenhouse for as long as we can to try and get some of the dormant eyes in the potatoes perhaps to come up again. We'll dry them out, we'll give them some nitrogen and see what happens. But then again, if we lose them, then we've got blight, we might lose them. Now, apologies if you can hear some gunfire in the distance. I do believe there's a shoot going on about 3 or 4 fields away, but the sound does carry, so apologies for that. Now, we were going to do today some of the cleaning and oiling of the tools, but this morning my garlic and onions have arrived from Brown's, and as you know, I like to put my garlic in September, so I'm late, so I'm going to get it in today. I've got 2 lots. They're called Checkmate, and so there's a new one to me, so we'll see how we get on with it. We'll get them out and split them up. The nice big garlics, look at that. And what we normally do, you see, is you break the top round and start to release the garlic inside. There we go. You see, it's actually beginning to shoot a little bit, so it shows it's a little bit late. Browns. I'll take this off, hang on. Just break them up. Now these little tiny ones I'm not really interested in. I'm really interested in these nice big ones. If we get towards the end, we might put the little ones in. See, these nice big garlic cloves will make big plants, and that means that the garlic, the bulbs themselves will be quite big as well. If you go for the little tiny ones, you'll just get small garlics. Right, let's get some of these off. Now, if it's got a layer of skin, if you like, on it, it's best to take that off if you can. You see? That's a waterproof membrane, so if we get it off, it'll root down quicker. We'll put them in with the trowel for quickness, but I'll just doctor these a little bit and then we'll put them straight in. They want to be in about 1 inch deep from the point, and the thick end you put down as the base. That's where the root will come from, obviously, and a good 6 to 8 inches apart. So we'll go half the trowel and a bit to about there apart, and then a good foot between the rows, which is the trowel again. Put them in about 1 inch, and then we want good 6 to 8 inches apart. If you put them too close together, obviously you get smaller bulbs. And then chop and up to the next one. Plenty of worms in the ground. It's nice to see. So I shall go along, and then I shall do a row, then backfill. If you backfill now, you might lose your mark. So if any lumps look like that, just bang them, they'll come out. That one's shooting a bit, but that'll be alright. I'll finish this row and then come back to you before we backfill. Now that's got the garlic in. I got 5 rows of 12. We have these small ones left. What I shall do is put these into pots, some liner pots, just in case any of these fail, and then I can always pop these in where we have one that hasn't come up. So I'm going to cover them over now and then get these shallots in. We've got 20 shallots as well, so we'll put those in along here once we got those settled in nicely. And I'll just cover them up and give them a pat just to settle them down. There you go. And then when they're showing through, it won't take long. I can go with the hoe or the rake between and keep them weed free. Just give them a little pat, not a big, just to settle the soil around them. It is going to rain tomorrow, so they'll get washed in well. Right, I'll get these covered up and then I'll come back to you and we'll pop these few shallots in. Right, these are the shallots we've got. I don't know if you can see that, it says germo. What they say is they can go about 4 inches apart, and obviously you just leave the tops popping out the soil. But I'm going a little bit bigger because obviously the more room you give them, the more shallots you'll get off the sides of them. So I'm going 5 to 6 inches apart, and there's only 20 in the bag, so there won't be more than 2 rows. So let's get them in. It's a bit tight on room down here, but we'll put them in, not just, and I'll do them as I go. So these are not long rooting down. Just give them a feel as you go, so if they're soft you can reject them. But obviously that's not a hard squeeze, just a run through your fingers. You'll know if you've got soft one. There. That's nice. Some are a bit big and some are a bit small. It's as they come, I think. There. I'll leave that one showing so I can space the other ones out as I go. So I'll put these in and then we'll see what we've got. Right, we've got them in 2 rows, and I'll just cover them up now, and that's, we can put the cover on. I'll just tidy up as I go. And say just peeping out the soil, they'll be fine. I'll finish them off now and pop the cover on, and then I'll show you the bed complete. That's the net on. That's the garlic and shallot bed now. For the preparation of it, if you can remember, I dug quite a bit of barley straw in, and I also put some bone meal in it as well to provide the nitrogen to help with the rotting down of the straw. Now that is now finished. They might just need a little bit of nitrogen in the spring to finish them, but that's a long way off now. So as regards the garlic and shallots, that'll do, and the colder the weather the better. Now I've also harvested those few pumpkins and squashes that we've grown. Not the best, but they are pumpkins and squashes, so they're doing all right. The smaller ones obviously are cookable, and the bigger ones will make something out of those Halloween. Peppers, as you can remember, we picked all those today. That's a good basket full. Now that'll be about it for this week. Sorry we didn't do the tools, but we will do them next week, so I'm sure the weather's going to break anyway. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. We do appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Take care everyone. Bye now.